And that's the hidden blade. I think this is a journal entry. Yeah. Robert is... I don't know how to say his name. Robert may be dead, but his brotherhood survives. Though less conspicuous in appearance, I fear they remain a threat. Where once they proudly walked the streets, making for easier targets, now they retreat into the shadows. It grows difficult to track them. What wicked things will they weave into the darkness? I can't read suddenly. Our work will be all the more complicated for it. Already there are rumors of a movement on Cyprus. I will have to investigate. It's made me realize that our tactics, too, must change. It means an end to our fortresses, to our penchant for spectacular displays of public assassinations. We must weave our webs quietly, and we must do so differently than we have in the past. Though I ask my brothers now to abandon the rituals, I do not ask that they abandon the creed. This is what makes us assassins. Not the removal of a finger, not a false promise of paradise, not the prohibition of poison. Our duty is to the people, not to custom. If we must sneak, we shall sneak. If we must use poison, we shall use poison. If our blades can be used without removing fingers, we shall not demand they be taken, and we shall not manipulate our initiates with lies and parlor tricks. We shall speak plainly and honestly. We shall be made anew. I had thought Adha would be the one to lead me to rest, that I might lay down my blade and live as a normal man. But now I know such dreams are best left to sleep. Her face. I try to banish it from my mind as I remember the days and nights during which I chased her Templar captors across the sea. I almost got to them in time. Almost. If I'd only been there faster. Instead, I held her lifeless body in my arms, saw the terror reflected in her fixed, unblinking eyes. I hunted each man, one by one, until all responsible were gone from the world. But there was no joy in this, no satisfaction or release. Their deaths did not bring her back, did not heal my wounds. After that I was certain I would never again feel for a woman as I had for her. I am fortunate to have been wrong. Aw, how, I was almost gonna say sweet, but I'm not sure that's really sweet. I'm sorry, but Altair, like, okay, I take it that happened before the game, Assassin's Creed 1. I'm sorry, but he just did not seem like the type that would actually love a woman like that. I don't know, maybe that's just me thinking that. Over time, any sentence uttered long and loud enough becomes fixed, becomes a truth, provided, of course, you can outlast the dissent and silence your opponents. But should you succeed and remove all challengers, then what remains is, by default, now true. Is it truth in some objective sense? No. But how does one ever achieve an objective point of view? The answer is you don't. It is literally physically impossible. There are too many variables, too many fields and formulae to consider. We can try, of course. We can inch closer and closer to revelation, but we'll never reach it, not ever. And so I have realized that so long as the Templars exist, they will attempt to bend reality to their will. They will recognize there is no such thing as absolute truth, or if there is, we are hopelessly under-equipped to recognize it. And so, in its place, they seek to create their own explanation. It is the guiding principle for their so-called named New World Order, to reshape existence in their own image. It is not about artifacts, not about men. These are merely tools. It is about concepts. Clever of them, for how does one wage war against a concept? It is the perfect weapon. It lacks a physical form, yet can alter the world around us in numerous, often violent ways. You cannot kill a creed. Even if you kill all of its adherents, destroy all of its writings, these are a reprieve at best. Someone, someday, will rediscover it, reinvent it. I believe that we, the assassins, have simply rediscovered an order that predates the old man himself. Okay, good. A picture. I'm getting sick of reading these things. Of course, I think the rest of them are pretty short. Oh my god. How long is this? Okay. I can't say those names. Wait. Attis, Dionysus, Horus, Krishna, Mithra, Jesus. Similar stories color their lives. Too similar, I think. Divine birthright, persecution, disciples, miraculous acts, resurrection. How is it possible? Perhaps it isn't. Merely a single story told over the ages. Borrowed then, changed to fit the times, evolving as our tools and language do. Is this a tale born of fact or fiction? A bit of both? Could these figures be the same person, their life extended and transformed by a piece of Eden? Al-Mualim spoke of Jesus as a real person, a mortal who had mastered the arts of manipulation. But what if he was wrong? If these men are real, and if they have walked amongst us many times before, does it mean they'll come again? Perhaps they are here now. So many questions, every day, even more. Okay. Huh. This is confirming my suspicions even more of certain things. You'll see at the end, the very last codex page is where I become suspicious of something, which I will explain. The hidden blade has become a constant companion of ours over the years. Some would even say it defines us, and they would not be entirely wrong. Many of our successes would not have been possible without it. Still, the device has begun to show its age, and so I have been researching improvements beyond ending the need to remove one's finger to wield it. The first is the addition of a metal plate that can be used to deflect incoming blows. The other assassins believe it is forged of a new metal, and credit me with the discovery of the formulae included on this page. It is better that they not know the truth. I have also worked with Malik to describe new methods of assassination, from on high, from ledges, and from hiding places. Basic movements, but critical nonetheless. The third and final improvement is the most simple, the provision of a second blade. Identical in every way to the first, should an assassin ever find himself tasked with dispatching two targets, he need only time his strike in such a way that he might reach both at the same time. These blades will be limited in number, since the metals in which we forge them remain difficult to obtain. I will need to think carefully about who shall be allowed to carry two. I'm like speeding through. Alright, so I don't know if... I'm not really sure. Is that supposed to be Cyprus? Because I think... No, wait, is it an island? I think it is. So that must be it. I'm not sure what other island looks like that. Wait, is that... Okay, never mind. The thing just went crazy, the analog stick. The apple is more than a catalog of that which precedes us. Within it, twisting, sparkling innards, I've caught glimpses of what will be. Such a thing should not be possible. Perhaps it isn't. Perhaps it is simply a suggestion. How to know? How to be sure? I contemplate the consequences of these visions. Are they images of things to come, or simply the potential for what might be? Excuse me. Can we influence the outcome? Dare we try? And in doing so, do we merely ensure that which we've seen? I am torn, as always, between action and inaction, unclear as to which, if either, will make a difference. Am I even meant to make a difference? Still, I keep this journal. Is that not an attempt to change, perhaps guarantee what I have seen? And, oh, God, more! We are obligated to hide, to be silent, to shape the course of history in secret. But some of my brothers and sisters disagree. They grow angry, insisting that it is a mistake to shroud ourselves. They say it slows our work. But they do not understand the risks. To expose ourselves now would be too dangerous. I fear we will be branded madmen and attacked. So it goes. So it always has. If there's one thing I know for certain, it is that men do not learn by being told. Instead, they must be shown. They must make the connections themselves. If I say unto a man, be kind, be tolerant, to be of an open mind, these words will wither and die long before they effected change. It would be a waste, and so we must maintain our course. I have studied the ancient pagan faiths that came before this more recent obsession with the single divine creator. They seem to have focused more on the fundamental forces that play in the world around us and less on the arbitrary moral rules. The sun rises in the morning and sets in the evening. The tides ebb and flow. Grass grows, withers, dies, and then in time emerges from the ground once more. The air turns warm, then cools and back again. Some hidden energy keeps us fitted to the ground and pulls us back when we attempt to leave it. Each of these movements was represented before by a god or a goddess, each force given a face, but recognized as something distinct and powerful, which is not to say there was not connections between these forces, a pantheon of individual spirits, of rules, invisible hands guiding the progress of the world around us. And so here was an attempt to categorize